What's up guys, it's Drac, and we have to start this one off with an apology to Harrison over at Shellington Labs. This one took way too long. And you know, there's just been a lot of factors that we can't explicitly discuss. Toy fair being moved, like just a ton of things that threw us for a loop in our current production schedule. But we've had this in our hands since. I can actually tell you how much of an apology it ought to be, right? Theoretically, there's a date on here. There is not. Saved myself a little bit of embarrassment there. All right, so inside we've got some worker darts and then the Kirin Type A. So this is, I believe, oh, this is convenient too, because I don't know if I have one of these right now. It looks like there's a Talon mag in here and a second Talon mag in here, but this is the Kirin. This is a Shellington Labs blaster that's been injection molded by Phantom Tech over here. So it is interesting seeing some of these hobbyist blasters get the injection molding treatment, especially in this case where we know that they're treating Harrison right because he agreed to all of it, which is why he's the one who sent it to me and not them specifically. So inside we have an injection molded version of the bolt action Kirin. A lot of different greeblies in here. We've got the plunger head, we've got some O-rings, we have shells that have been preloaded with darts. The shells, of course, going into the shell magazines, now also injection molded and coming in the classic 3 colors of orange, clear, and smoke. This appears to be not a scar. This is like a hollow pseudo flash hider. Let's pull the blaster itself out. So the blaster is, you know, light assembly required. We've got the barrel set into the shroud. Then we've got the back end here, which looks to have a monster spring combo. It's double springed up on a Saturday over here. And then inside here we have the plunger rod, which has a metal rod, and then the bolt attached, all of that. So we're gonna get this assembled really quick and we'll show you what it looks like put together. All right, so full assembly does not take long. Given that it was based on a 3D printed blaster, it pretty much kind of puzzles together like so. The walls are very interesting. It's clearly a very thin overall construction. Again, like I assume they just took the STLs, ripped the shell, printed it with, you know, minimal draft angles and, you know, threw it into the injection molding machine. So there's a lot about it that feels very, this was a 3D printed blaster that's been adapted for injection molding, which gives it a kind of cheap feel. However, the part that doesn't feel cheap is with the heaviest of the spring loads in it and this full metal priming system here into the plunger. We've been firing it already. So there's the shell eject. Like I said, it's using the Shellington kind of mag system, and these being injection molded is quite nice. Not only the shells, but also the magazines, because you can drop them. They're less likely to break, etc. and so forth. But this one is fully loaded. Go ahead and put that in there again. That's a pretty clean and easy mag drop there. You will need a Phillips head screwdriver to put the blaster together, but let's chamber this shell in. It's got a nice little feed ramp there up and into the barrel. You can go ahead and close that down. Put one over the chronograph, see what that looks like. 242, so not messing around. And genuinely, I think that this has gotten to the point where it's a full performance blaster, but also you still get that shell ejecting role play aspect. 247 every time, man. 242, 237. I mean, just an overall like absolute blast from a bolt action perspective. I dig it. The stock is not adjustable, so bear that in mind. The blaster itself has a full pick rail up top and then a pick rail down here. You could add any grip you wanted or any optic that you wanted. The mag well is pretty clean. It definitely feels good shouldering it this way. This is removable. You could permanently affix it by taking these screws out and putting it on here, but it's, like I said, completely cosmetic. The barrel is a standard OD though, so you could fit pretty much any scar barrel that you were interested in on this platform. It looks like I got 3 shots left here. Let's just put a few downrange shoulders and see what that feels like. And you know, when you're really dialed in, it feels pretty good. Is this the most efficient kind of position for a competitive blaster? Absolutely not. It's a bolt action blaster. However, you're getting very close to that 250 threshold that a lot of competitive blasters use, and your shots are going remarkably straight. So, you know, if I get tired of flicking my shells into pad over here, I mean, this is, it really is like the camera is positioned right where the shells are going. Let's just, for accuracy's sake, let's see if we can dial 1 into the light fixture. This is no optics and didn't need optics. Pretty awesome. So hard to ignore that, that shells and darts are a lot of fun. The blaster has a very competitive SPF. It's really good at keeping the sun off of your FPS. It's got a very competitive FPS threshold, and it is a lot of fun to fling foam with. The smile does not lie. If you'd like to pick one of these up, I picked one up that would take hydrographics or paint really well. I obviously haven't had any time to crank this review out, so I haven't had time to paint it. I might get around to it because it is just an absolute world of fun. However, picking one of these up is going to set you back $200 from Shellington Blasters direct. Link will be down in the description box below. And if you're, 3D printer shy, but have wanted one of these really sweet shell blasters for a while, I think this is a great option. I mean, really, really cool. Of note, you can put this system on either side. So if you happen to be a dirty southpaw, you could mount your priming mechanism over there. But I like the shells to fly away from me. Pretty sweet. Very cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.